Where is something we can take apart? Definitely not taking that one apart. Loose bearings in there. Not worth it. Nope. Basically have this thing sold today. That's great. So now I need a question, or I need an answer from the community. What do you think is a better financial decision? I'm going to be coming into around $500. Should I put that money towards having a sprint run made of a knife that I already like, or buying a high-end knife that I've wanted for a while? Wow, everybody left. Imagine that. I love how auto translate works until it doesn't. Times like right now where it decided it didn't want to translate what I would assume is Ukrainian. That is not the song that I wanted next. I'm just bored, so I'm taking it apart. All my knives have all their maintenance finished already. I just have nothing better to do. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm moving on to doing that. It's hard to sell things right now. With the average person struggling with income right now, most people don't have excess money to spend on stuff like this. So when you're trying to offload multiple $500 knives, they just don't move very fast. And I'm grateful to say that I'm not struggling with money right now, but I would very much like to sell a good chunk of my collection. It's just hard to move stuff. I'll tell you, buying and selling knives is a lot less exhausting than making YouTube content. I burnt out about 10 months ago. So, you know, the live streams I still do every once in a while, but Jesus. I'm surprised that these things don't sell for very much. You have a good one. God. I just wish that this one was lighter. Ah. I have nothing to do, so and they all left. Sure, people get tired of looking at all the Chris Reeve knives that I have. Now, the thing is, they're the most impressive knives that I have, so there isn't much else to show off in the collection, to be honest. Be 100% honest, the only reason I'm live streaming right now is to keep from thinking. Not that there's anybody listening anyway, but it gives me something better to do. But while we're here, might as well work on this. And on we go. Follow me anywhere. Won't be there. Hmm. Cleaning a knife. It's a prototype that a company that I and another YouTuber were working on. Had a family friend carry it for a little while, and it has been used quite extensively, and I figured before I hand it back to him, I'll clean it up, get some more feedback on it. It's supposed to be bright yellow, like these. But, you know, when something gets carried, it gets dirty. Yeah, the project went under, so all we really have left of it at the moment is the prototypes. Not much live streaming, so I don't have to think about other things. Gives me something better to do, I guess. It's either that or go to bed, and me being the way that I am, I won't fall asleep for another 2 or 3 hours, so here we are. Yeah, it'd be better if I didn't forget about the skeletonizing. I forgot to have the liners skeletonized. Now that's supposed to sit flush, but it's starting to have some issues fitting. All right, you go ahead and go to bed then. That's good enough. I don't need vibes. It is what it is. If you're tired, go to bed. I'm not going to try and force you to stay here. Whoops. That one was oil. Aluminum? No. Keep that shit away from me. You can see the color change. Whereas jeans were wiping all the dirt off. That's what happens when you carry things. Only thing I had my dad hand it to him, so I told him just carry it. He did a shit ton of carving with it. Edge held up just fine. 8 hours of carving. Yeah, I'm more surprised that there was no chipping. There's blade play. We'll fix that real quick. Now, the thing about this pocket clip was it was supposed to be interchangeable with any aftermarket Spyderco style wire clip replacements. And as far as I know, it would fit. The problem is I'm not willing to spend that much money on a clip just to figure it out. It's not a bad knife though, it's just heavy because of the skeletonization that I forgot. I did just bring up to the company that made it like literally 40 minutes ago, I asked them how much it would cost for me to get 10 of a model that they already make in M390 and titanium. So if it's cheap enough, I wouldn't mind checking that out. Send a couple out for review, see what people think, and if they want it, then maybe we'll do a collab with my my logo on the back. KC3, what's up? Just cleaning a knife. Eh. I'm still kicking, so that's saying something, I guess, but I really do wish that the scales on this were titanium. It is a really cool knife. No, it's about usual. It's so smooth. You'd be interested. It's up to them on how much they're going to cost. This one's a frame lock in M42 super high speed steel. So if you ever see me making comments talking about M42 SHSS, this is the steel I'm talking about. Absolutely insane edge retention for the price. I'm a little mad at this one. There's a lot of slop in there. No, it's really high edge retention. It's probably not very tough. It's made for drill bits. It's not supposed to be used in knives. Well, this one's 60. The problem is it's got a shit ton of lock or blade play. And it didn't have that when I got it, but I shouldn't be able to touch both sides with the blade. Like, this one doesn't move. I don't think this one moves. It does, but not enough to touch. And this one's just all over the fucking place. But I don't remember it being like that when I bought it. I took it apart, tried fixing it, couldn't get it to work, so I'm stuck with it the way it is now, or I'll go and sell it to a pawn shop or something. It's bearings. There's nothing I can do. Believe me, I've tried quite a bit. I've tried tightening it further too. Did you mean this one? Because if that's the one you're talking about, that's a thumb stud up there. There's no way. There's no way I have rust on S90V. From isopropyl alcohol. That shit better wipe off, I swear to God. It's a Benchmade Arcane. Yeah, that's what I fucking thought. Better wipe right off. Woodinator. What's up? Arcane. Arcane. This one's up for sale if you're interested. Although the thumb studs are mine. Yeah, what'd you get? I've got it sitting there for 125 shipped in the US. Taylor, what's up? How's it going? What am I doing up so late? I am always up this late. I have no clue why you're up this late. But yeah, it's only almost 3:30. It's not that late. Or it's not that late. You know, you could have just asked me cuz I have one of those for sale. I mean, you're not going to get a great price from me, but yeah, this one's 125. Again, I'll just have to take the thumb studs off, but or for an extra $10, I'll keep them on there. I don't care. They cost me $10. So, Taylor, what do you think of the large Sebenza 31? Because it's barely in my top 5. Barely. Where did I put my 31? Sweet. Oh, my back. Oh, that hurt. Okay. Oh, there it is. I will warn you, I should always bring this up. I only take Cash App. However, I'm willing to wait if it takes you a little bit to set a Cash App account up. Anyway, I can ship. If the post office is open tomorrow, I can ship tomorrow. If not, I'll ship on Monday. I usually do same day shipping. Just want to verify real quick. I've got an Instagram that you can reach out on. That's what I prefer talking through. There's no way that's a T6. It is. I'll need to loosen that a little bit. So these naturally have some play then, which isn't uncommon for, where was I going with this? I want to make sure you know about that though. It has a little bit of side to side on this. Not terrible though. Anyway, my Instagram is in my bio on YouTube. If you click on my account, it's KO Knives. We'll see you later, AB123. Taylor, you never answered my question. Well, pardon me for wanting a perfect knife. You mean silicone handles? No. That stuff degrades over time. There isn't a whole lot you can do about it that I know of. We said it's nothing new. You've had one. It's nothing new, and you traded yours away a few years ago, and you missed it ever since. Right? What do you think of it? Because like I said earlier, it's barely in my top 5. It is number 5. So Taylor, what do you think of M390 at 62 HRC? What would you pay for that after you're finished with the Sebenza question? I agree. The cutting geometry on these things is fucking badass. This thing is an amazing kitchen knife. It's what I used it for earlier. I was cutting a block of cheese with this. Just glides right through. It's better than every kitchen knife that I have in the house. Not gonna lie, you're not far off. I'd pick the Nkosi over this just about any day. But in the kitchen, it's hard to beat. But I'm not in the kitchen very often. Hence my complaints. It is relatively thin behind the edge at 22 thou. I think this one was 15. This one's ridiculously thin behind the edge. But now that it's got blade play, I'm never going to carry it. Hence why I was talking about getting rid of it. Just pawn it off onto some pawn shop that I don't like. Because I don't feel good selling it directly to somebody else knowing all the issues that it has. A bit more RA. I don't know what that means. Oh, okay. I was thinking, so a company that I've been talking to for a couple years now, Gin Knives. Okay, yeah, I've never had somebody explain that to me. I just kind of know that some feel like shit. Give me a minute. So this company makes a model called the Captain in D2. And it looks like this. And my thought was, I've been talking to them for a while anyway, so I want an upgraded version of this in M390 and titanium. So I was talking earlier about asking them how much it would cost to do a sprint run of 10 in M390 at 62 plus or minus 1 HRC and grade 2 titanium scales. And if it's cheap enough, I might do a sprint run of those and see how I feel about it. One of the mandatory changes that I do want to have made, I really like, it'd be Jin. They make their own shit, so I just do it with them. I want the plunge grind back here, because almost nobody does that, and it makes it more annoying to sharpen when it's not. So when you look at that, that's just going to be a pain. So my thought is move the plunge grind back here. See, I didn't know that there was a difference there. So I'll have to ask them what they plan on using, because if you mean 204p, like CTS 204p, or is there a generic version of CTS 204p? No, I'll just make them make it. It's not that big of a change. It really isn't. It's a decent upgrade. They've taken my advice in the past. I don't see why they wouldn't take it here. The only reason that these things are priced the way they are is because they asked me what a reasonable price would be. I'll be honest, I pushed for the 14C to be cheaper. But after I did a little bit of digging, I figured 65 is about all right. And the only reason I'm going with M390, I've explained this before. Okay. I'll clarify I want brand name. I know it's going to be more expensive, but why would it be PM204 then? You'd think it'd be SF204. Well, what does PM stand for? I need multiple people's opinion on this. What is the best ingot steel? I want something better than 154 cm. CPM D2 isn't an ingot. That's a powdered metal. Well, this isn't industrial. This is, I'd consider it consumer, I guess. Yeah, I'm looking for an ingot steel because it's cheaper than powdered metal. Yeah, that's annoying, dude. It just sounds like lying to me. I do want to see this stuff more. You should get one of these and test it, dude. This stuff's insane. God, I didn't want to do 14C, and the reason why is it doesn't have the edge retention that I want. I know that I'm being picky, but you got to keep in mind if I'm setting up my my collaboration steel with somebody, I want it to be something better. And they already do 14C, so we'll see what they say come Monday. What is 19C? Is it something I should really be looking into? Because I'm still, even though it's not an ingot steel, I'm still leaning towards M390. How's the ingot steel's significantly cheaper than powdered metal? It's a lot easier to make, so it costs less. Just a sec, I'm checking to make sure I didn't get a notification from that dude. And I didn't. So I guess the Arcane might not sell. Anyway, I like the thought of a fine grain structure, better toughness kind of stuff, but to be honest, after looking into toughness, it's not as big of a deal as I thought it was. I'll look that up real quick. You do destructive testing, right? You brought that up in the past. That's pretty basic. That is not going to be stainless, is it? Oh, it's DC 53. That's a lot of silicon. Damn. One of my buddies, Knives I Guess, did some testing on that, and it was subpar to say the least. I think the edge lasted like 1.5 hours when D2 has lasted between 4 and 8 of cutting cardboard. What else can we do? So here's what I want you to keep in mind, right? This knife is being sold on Amazon. Yeah, I see the other ones here. This knife is being sold on Amazon to the average person. Holy shit. That is a lot of carbides. Oh my god, that's insane. Have you looked into this steel? Look at that. 10.5% cobalt and 13% inclusive on tungsten and vanadium. That's absolutely insane. Oh my god. Okay. Yeah, my Instagram's this. Do you know anything about the toughness on that? Because it's probably pretty low. Damn. Oh, you want my Cash App? Oh, okay. Yeah, go ahead and go message me on there and we'll work things out like address and stuff. Expensive, not surprising. I don't want to do M4. I think N690 is overpriced. There's just about, so for the performance that you get out of it, in my opinion, it's too expensive. Too expensive to justify the cost. That does not mean it's a bad steel. That just means when you see it for over $200, then K888. Hey, I got a message request. Yeah, that one doesn't show up. Yeah, I got your message. Yeah, not surprising, considering it didn't show up on my app. Appreciate it. Yeah, I sent you a reply to your message. It just says yo, but Here's the thing, right? If it were my choice, 100% my choice, the steel I'd go with is S90V because I just love that stuff. However, they did bring up to me that the average person struggles with sharpening S90V, and this is being sold to the average Amazon buyer, and they're going to end up with comments about it being chippy and being hard to sharpen. Yeah, I already sent you a response. Now let's see. Anyway, that's the reason I went with M390 was because the average person doesn't struggle to sharpen that. But I want knife guys interested in it too. And OS 10 doesn't meet my standards. It just doesn't. 1095. You're full of shit. You're good. God damn it. Fucking piece of shit keeps coming undone. I'd do it if 1095 didn't suck. Yeah. I don't want here's what I want. A max price of $100. I don't want it going any higher than that. You got to keep in mind, this is a knife that when you receive it, you have to put it together yourself. Yeah, don't worry about it, dude. You're if you want it, I'll keep it on hold. It's not a big deal. We can actually talk about the deal tomorrow if you want to. It's not a big deal. I'm gonna wait for it anyway. Yep. I'm a relatively patient person, unfortunately. I did bring up 3V. Is K390? You're full of shit, Taylor. Is K390 a powdered metal? No, the fuck you're not. It'd be disgrace, dude. Okay, it's a powdered metal. Damn. You're so full of shit. That's going to be expensive. I'm looking for a steel with an edge retention of around a 7 on Laren's scale. K390 is a 7.5 at 63. Yeah, they're kind of hard to read, not gonna lie. There's a lot of shit going on here. I almost think, how tough is 10V? 5? How expensive do you think 10V would be? Now, just so we're clear, when I'm saying 10V, we're not going to be heat treating it super high. S60V is an option. That's not used very often. Damn, that's a lot of vanadium. Oh, that's just 10V, just Buller's version. Yeah. Okay. That's an option. You know what steel I really want? I want Superstar. What I really want is this stuff, but Superstar just has a cool name. So this stuff is what this one's made in. Okay. Go for it. Sorry, the closest I got was Tyrant Extra. That shit sounds fun. Let's see. Decent tungsten, a little bit of vanadium, almost no chromium. Really basic. According to this one, I think it said shock resistant. Hmm. You know, when I sent an email to Carpenter asking if I could order a sheet of Superstar, they were trying to push a steel that they hadn't released yet. Oh yeah, dude, I'm not giving you my phone number, buddy. Give me just a sec. 2. Hmm. I can't find the email that I sent them. Oh, there we go. Found it. A421 or A21. Oh, Star Zenith was another one that I was interested in. So A421. We'll look into that real quick. It's super new. Oh, this phone. Oh, A21 stainless carburizing steel. Relatively high carbon. Pretty high in silicon. Nickel is 2 to 3%. A little bit of titanium. 10.5 to 14% chromium. They were trying to push me hard on buying a sheet of that. And it was just before that stuff came out. Yeah, that chromium percentage is pretty concerning, to be honest. 10.5 to 14%. That kind of says that they don't have their shit together on that one. Especially when they're calling it stainless. How about the 421? Because I think that one was a little bit different. Oh yeah, thanks for not giving me any fucking information on that. Nickel isn't uncommon. They did claim that it gets up to 62 HRC though. I don't know how the toughness is though. That's interesting. A21 and A421 are two new martensitic stainless steels that offer unique performance, blah, 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 blah. Both steels use titanium to precipitate with carbon as titanium carbide and maximize corrosion resistance. That's really interesting. That's really weird. So supposedly there's three ways of using it: as a carburized steel, nitrided, which I don't know what that one means, and then quenched and tempered. And carburized, it develops a hard stainless case at around 60 HRC, while the core is soft. I'd know why you'd want that, but it wouldn't work great for knives, especially when you have to sharpen them. It can be considered a stainless version of 9310. Oh. Interesting. Uh, have fun finding one for under $100, I guess. I don't know. I barely carried this thing. I've had better. I prefer titanium, so aluminum's just not something that I play with very often. It gets really cold here in Idaho in the winter, and when aluminum gets cold, it gets really cold. Can I not type? Okay. Build quality. I have held a street before. Nothing overly concerning or anything. There's a little bit of lock rock, which seems to be pretty common with this locking mechanism. There's not a whole lot, but it's there. It's smooth. I'm pretty sure it's on bearings. So if you're going to use this thing hard, then no prying. I'm not sure who the OEM on these ones is, but I think the OEM for the titanium models, for the Red Line or whatever they are, I think those ones are Riot. But yeah, if you're not worried about a little bit of lock rock, then it's going to be fine, I guess. Here's what it seems like happened on that model. They dropped it, and then it kind of seems like they only did one drop and then forgot that it existed. That's what it seems like. I haven't really done any digging because I already have one. Okay. I thought there was something going on in there. But nope. I'm sure Taylor fell asleep listening to my angelic voice. I should probably do a full disassembly on this thing if I'm going to clean it properly. How's it going? Sweet. People usually find me when they're supposed to be going to bed. To be honest, people find my channel when they're supposed to be doing something else, but it's always kind of funny hearing how people found my channel. Oh, I still haven't gone to bed. It's 4:14 in the morning. Yeah. I try sometimes. Yeah, that's how my night owl side used to be, and now it's just being the person that people watch instead of going to bed. You know, when I 3D modeled this thing, I didn't think that it was going to be this much of a bitch to take apart. I design knives. And this is the first one that I've actually had produced, and it turned out pretty mediocre. I don't enjoy the process of making. But I do enjoy the process of designing. Yeah, I mean, when you're looking at this model, the dead giveaway is that it's my first R1, that there's no skeletonizing anywhere. This scale, or this liner right here, weighs 1.6 ounces. I have a knife that weighs less than that. It's just something that I didn't think about and completely spaced until we already had them made. And then I picked one up and it weighed 6 ounces and realized that I forgot something kind of big. That's a lot of rust going on in here. That would be concerning. A lot of discoloration from what I would assume would be sweat. Unfortunately, I can't sell the prototypes. However, One, there's another model I'm working on that's just me and the company, and two, there's a collab I want to do with them that I was just talking about earlier. Well, believe me, they're more than just strong enough. This one I just didn't remember or didn't even think that I had to do that. But yeah, you definitely have to do that. Chris, what's up? Welcome back. How's it going? Absolutely massive washers on this thing, by the way. Now, the plan was in production, these would come with a set of washers and a set of bearings. And you could pick whether you wanted giant washers or bearings. I never went to college. I personally thought that college was a waste of money because a good chunk of college is just you taking classes that aren't going to help you later on in life. It's hard for me to justify something like that when I have to take, let's say, like English 101 and English 102 to get an associate's degree or something in, say, engineering or medical science or some bullshit where you don't need English. It it just doesn't make sense to me. All for a fucking piece of paper that I don't need. It's definitely fun to do though. Believe me when I say that. This, not college. I hate school. Yeah, there you go. It wouldn't have been free if you failed a class. Yeah, I don't see why people still think college is worth the money. It's insane to me. Go into a trade school, learn a trade, go make a shit ton of money. Don't get a college degree because it's mostly just a piece of paper. That says, oh, look, I'm qualified to do something that's just slightly more complicated than what the average person can do. And don't get me wrong, for something like designing bridges and shit, I think we need civil engineers and stuff, but civil engineers that don't suck. Because I'll tell you what, the city that I live in, some of these street designs are bullshit. See, now that's fun. But yeah, like I said earlier, I don't enjoy the making process. I enjoy the designing process, which is why I'd rather use my money to pay somebody else to do shit for me. So if you ever see a knife that's made by me, then one, it's probably going to be a piece of shit, being 100% honest. And two, I didn't enjoy making it. It sounds pessimistic. I'm promising it's not. It's just the way that I am. That's a scary thought. And here's another thing, right? For general engineering, for small things that aren't like life and death situations like this, you don't need a degree to do this. You need money to pay somebody to make it for you. That is all you need. And maybe some money to pay a tax guy to help you with taxes when you start selling shit. But other than that, it's kind of like these ones. This is one of the simplest knives out there. And this one's even simpler. On this knife, there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 pieces. Sorry, 11 pieces. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. This one's more complicated, but not much. They're definitely simple. There's only one of them that's in my top 3. And this one isn't it. The Nkosi's in my top 3. Yeah, my most recent design that I've been working on, it's not finished yet. Let me swap songs, and then I'll show you guys what I got so far. So my most recent design is, it's been fucking brutal. It took so long. I'm still not done yet. But here's what I've got so far. The handle needs to be finished. But this thing here has been a bitch to work on. I'm 6 hours in on the design, and 3 of those hours were me moving a button around until it fit. Now, a fun and relatively unique part about that design is it's similar to this one, where the flipper tab is actually the lock face. Well, I hope Chris Reeve listens to my recommendation on the Sebenza 41. I want captive washers. The Nkosi has captive washers. Why can't the Sebenza? Sounds like a plan. We'll see you later. And with that, I'm probably going to end the stream because there's only one person here. Oh, then 3 other people join. And then as soon as I say that, they're all going to leave. But no, I'm probably fine going to head to bed and stuff. Stay another 5.5 minutes and then we'll end it. Then I can go to bed. Woodnader, welcome back. Got about 5 minutes until I end the stream. I still have your CRKT KISS, by the way. It's somewhere in the house. Yeah, you said you were probably going to buy something else with it, but that was months last year. Last year, yep. It's a long time ago. Good. Glad to hear it. Lawsuit stuff going on. That's always fun. Good. Knock on wood, I never have to deal with that. The problem is the drivers these days, they're just getting dumber and dumber every year. Oh, I should go grab my favorite knife. Second favorite knife. Well, how old are you talking? Because I wouldn't get something much older than like 30 years old. That's old to you? Damn. Diesel or gas? Definitely not that old. Well, if you're thinking about getting a diesel, I think the last year you're going to want is 2008. 2009, I think, is when they started all the heavy emissions stuff. And the heavy emissions stuff lowers your power and your mileage. So you're basically just getting a short bed truck with a cab. Well, if I were you, I'd get one without the moonroof. Yeah, it's on the Sierra chassis if it's an XL. It's just a Sierra but with a different body, or a Chevy 1500 with a different body. Yeah, Silverado, that's what it was. It's funny because I own a Silverado and I forgot what it was called. I find the SUV bodies hard to see around. I don't enjoy driving an SUV. The the C pillars and the D pillars get in the way. And I'd rather know what's going on around me than being able to reach in the back and grab stuff. That's just the way that I am, though. Look at me, always lying to you guys. Oh, I'm only going to stay on for another 5 minutes, and then I keep going anyway. Find me another song to listen to. Oh, sure, I use my mirrors too, but I always do the shoulder check because I've had a couple smaller cars that are in my blind spot pretty damn good. I think the one that there are a couple of Suzuki Cappuccinos in the area, and it they hide in my blind spots pretty damn good, where I have to do a shoulder check or else I can't see them because they're just so small. Yeah, we've got a 16 um, Denali, and I can't see shit out of that thing. I hate driving it. It feels way bigger than my truck, even though it's only like 2 inches wider or something. I think it's my least favorite vehicle that I've driven, but I've only driven like 4. This is just such an amazing knife. That wouldn't surprise me. I didn't like the 2010 truck body style. That thing just fugly. And the back seats in the cab in those things are so small. We had a 2010 Duramax, and that thing, I'm tall. tall. I'm 6 feet tall, but back then I was like 5'10", and I barely fit in those back seats. Really uncomfortable back seats in that truck too. I don't know if the Denali's or the Suburbans are the same way, but they were just like plastic with a little bit of cushion and leather on top. It was sucked. It hurt my back. Ooh. We had an '06 that had a removable third row. That one was fun. That one was a good one until we got the 16. It was bad. Like, that was my dad's first Duramax. That was no, I think it was his first Duramax. And overall, the truck was fine. Just the interior was uncomfortable. Obviously, recommend doing a test drive, um, and sit in it for a while, because you got to make sure you're going to be comfortable. I think comfort. I would pick comfort over aesthetics. Even if the vehicle looked like shit, as long as it's comfortable, I wouldn't care. Comfort and reliability. Oh, did the 2010 have active fuel management? That's something to look out for. The active fuel management's really shitty. Okay. Yeah, so if you get one of those, the first thing that you need to do, if it's legal, is get the active fuel management shut off permanently. It shuts off 4 of the 8 cylinders. And what ends up happening is it shuts off fuel to either the front 4. It shuts off fuel to the front 4 or the back 4 cylinders. I don't remember which ones, but I'm pretty sure it also shuts off oil. I need to double check that. There was something where something would get stuck, a solenoid would get stuck, and then you'd be stuck in V4 mode all the time. Causes lifter failure, excessive oil consumption, and can damage camshafts. Yeah. So that's where the oil came in. It's just really hard on components. And I don't think that for a vehicle that's 16 years old, It's something you'll want to look out for. I just don't want you getting screwed on a new vehicle. Or a new, you get the point. Special active fuel management valve lifters stick or collapse, causing loud ticking, tapping, or misfires. I don't think I've ever changed my air filter. I've done 30,000 miles. I clean it out every once in a while, but I've never replaced it. Yeah, so stay the hell away from that thing. High oil use occurs from oil pressure issues and ring wear during V4 and V8 transitions. A failed lifter can rub flat spots into the camshaft, sending metal shards through the engine. So that's fun. Yeah. I know the 2016 models don't have a dipstick, so that's fun. I also do mostly freeway, or mostly in the city. So dust isn't really a huge deal around here. It's designed for freeway, like you said. But on the 2016 models, it only really shifts into the AFM mode in the eighth gear, going at a consistent speed. I just wouldn't risk it being a possibility. Now, on the 2016s, there is a way of preventing it from going into there. The shifter has, options. You got park, reverse, neutral. You get the point. There's a last option that's M for manual. I don't know if the 2010 models have this, but you manually shift up to the max that you want to shift up to. And if you keep it in, for the 2016s, if you keep it in gear 7 or lower, it won't shift into AFM. I'm not sure if that's how it works on the 2010s, though. Yep, always good to know what you're getting into. Would suck to buy a car and be fucked over. Let me double check. Oh, that one might not have it. No, it should have it. It'll automatically shift for you. It's just you'll set it to your max gear that you're going to let it do it to. It should have it. According to the AI overview, the options are park, reverse, neutral, drive, and manual. And the manual, it's just you're pressing this button. Anyway, it's not. My concern isn't if you're using it properly. My concern is if the people who have owned it for the last 16 years have used it properly. That's my concern. You can use it normally all you want, but 16 years is a long time. And there's a lot of things that can go wrong in 16 years. It might be just fine, but it also might be just fine for now. Not everybody cares about their vehicles. Yep. I mean, if it's been owned by the same farmer or something, not farmer, but you get the point, some old dude the whole time that it's been owned, I wouldn't be too super worried about it. But if it's had like 3 or 4 owners, you never know. One of them could have been a 17-year-old. Somebody who just doesn't give a shit. You never know. My truck, I'm the second owner, which is a funny thought considering it's 30 years old and it's older than I am. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and go to bed. So, good luck on your search for a new vehicle, and for everybody else, hopefully you guys have a great rest of your night, day, morning, whatever it is. And we'll see you in the next one. Yep.